Hello, everyone, and welcome to another series. We are talking about what is a doula. My name is Alicia Hurt. I am the executive director for I See My Baby Women's Wellness Center here in Bainbridge, Georgia. We support women holistically as they navigate their journey of infertility, when they actually conceive, throughout the pregnancy, and then after that baby is born. And so we have a series called What is a Doula? And we talk through all of the different questions that you may have, help you understand our role and have a deeper connection with us. And also, if you know anyone that may be interested, or maybe you say, I don't know anyone, still share this information. Please hit that share button, hit that like button. I'm going to go ahead here and ensure that you have our links and that the privacy settings are updated here so that we can jump right into our webinar today. Again, we are answering the question of what is a doula? And today specifically, we're diving into how we work and build a strong relationship with the medical team for a seamless birth. A lot of nurses and doctors, they may not feel as comfortable or feel great about us being doulas there in the room. And so this is for you. This is also for the mom that's saying, all right, but I have a medical team. Why do I need you? I want to really help you understand how we work hand in hand, how we're supposed to work hand in hand, and especially if you are obtaining doula services through I See My Baby, this will be how we ensure that there is a seamless birth experience between us, the doula, and your medical team. So we're going to talk about, again, not just the emotional and the physical birth support, but also building the strong respect and effective communication with the medical team to ensure a cohesive, calm, and empowered birthing experience for you. We are here for you. All parties are here for you. That is the medical team, your support system. We're all here for you, Mom, to ensure that you have the great experience possible, that you feel heard, and that your desires, as long as there's nothing outside of that as far as medically necessary, but that all your desires are met. So going back to the definition of what is a doula, we provide non-medical support, emotional, physical, and informational assistance before, during, and after childbirth. Unlike a midwife or OB, a doula does not perform medical procedures. We don't diagnose you or make any decisions, but we help empower you to make informed decisions. Think of a doula as your birth translator, your space holder, and grounded presence. So we are there to make sure you understand what is being said, understand how this affects the outcome of your birth, how it affects your birthing plan, making sure you feel comfortable and confident during the birthing process. So again, why do we need to talk about having a strong relationship between the doula and the medical team? Here's why. It reduces miscommunication and stress during labor. It creates an environment of mutual respect and calm, and it helps the birthing person feel safe, helps you feel heard and in control. And it also increases the likelihood of the birth plan being respected within medical safety. So making sure on the medical side, safety is the first part, making sure on the mom's side, she's being heard with her birth plan. Now, a strong relationship means that there's trust, there's respect between both people, which are the medical team, the providers, the doctors, the nurses, and the doula, and understanding each other's roles and boundaries. I won't step on your toes, you won't step on mine. We're going to work together cohesively. That we're clear, we're professional as we communicate before and during labor. And that is why we like to go on your prenatal visits, making sure that they get to know us, we get to know them, and we just start the lines of communication there. An example would be during an early labor check-in, a doula learns that the OB is concerned about slow progression. So the doula gently encourages upright positioning of her client, her mom, and rest while communicating calmly with the nurse, reinforcing that both sides are working towards the same goal, which is a safe delivery. The nurse feels supported instead of challenged, and then the birthing person also feels united in care. So, how does a doula communicate with the medical team, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. So, before birth, we often introduce ourselves to the midwife or the OB or and the nurses during the prenatal visits or via email, in person, however we're doing it. We are letting them know who we are, what role we play, becoming familiar with one another. Some doulas attend appointments if welcomed to build rapport early. They may offer insight on the family's birth preferences to create a bridge, not a barrier, with the provider. Now, during labor, we never speak on behalf of the birthing person, but we help translate medical language and clarify options. So if a doctor is communicating about maybe the pain management, and if my client is not understanding, then I'll elaborate more, so that they can feel comfortable in making a sound decision. We also observe, we support, and we stay professional and neutral, especially in high stress situations. We are out the way. Let the doctors and the nurses, the medical team do their part, but making sure if they're on the left, maybe we're on the right. Maybe we're rubbing the shoulder of our client, making sure that they're okay, rubbing their legs and their feet. Doulas can help families ask the right questions. So some questions would be, can we have a moment alone to decide? What are the benefits or the risks of this option? The language a good doula uses with staff. So we would say, hi, I'm the family's doula. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to support your work today. She's asking about other options. Can you help us understand what's next? Thank you for keeping her comfortable. I can stay with her while you chart if needed. So how you can help your doula support you better. Here are 4 buckets, and there are definitely more, but let's just hone in on these 4. So during doctor's appointments, share any updates, changes in your baby's position, or new recommendations from your OB or your midwife. So an example would be if your provider recommends an induction, your doula can help you prepare with natural comfort techniques and emotional support. Your birth plan changes. So if you modify your plan or you decide to have an epidural or opt for home birth, your doula adjusts her tools to the mindset accordingly. So we need to know that sooner rather than later. Also, your family dynamics. If you're concerned about a partner's anxiety or family members who may stress you out during labor, let your doula know. So we know that we may politely say, hey, would you like a drink of water, partner? Hey, mom, could you give me a second just to talk to mom, just to see if she's okay? If you want to maybe go to the cafeteria and grab something to drink, and then help to keep things calm and making sure that space is calm and reinforcing boundaries in a polite and professional manner. Also, mental and emotional state. If you're feeling scared, if you're doubting yourself, your doula's role isn't just logistics, it's emotional anchoring. Doulas use affirmations, guided breathing, gentle touch, and words of reassurance rooted in what they know about you. So the more you explain, you tell us, the more we can help you better and support you better. Practical tools to make it seamless. So here's some tips, and actually at the end of this presentation, there will be a QR code that you can download this tip sheet for parents. It's 5 ways to keep your doula in the know. And it also breaks down how to introduce your doula to your OB or your midwife if you're just not sure how to couch the discussion. And then we also break down questions to ask your provider with your doula in mind. And again, we'll have that QR code at the end, so that way you have it for your reading pleasure and you can download it. You want to also create a doula notebook or a shared birth file or folder. We have a folder for you as well here at I See My Baby. So once you say yes, we do have your plan together. We keep it all in a folder for you, so it's easy to grab. We also chart for you, because that is also mandatory for us to chart the labor experience as well, and have our photo at the ending to make sure we say, hey, we helped you birth this baby. We include your latest OB reports, updated birth plan. You want to also have contact information of all the team members. You want to add a section for doula notes and reminders. And optional, if you want a WhatsApp group or group text, if the doula is a part of ongoing communication with consent amongst you, your medical professionals, is completely up to you. I would say over communication is best, because if you forget to say something, you don't give us not enough, we cannot show up and support you holistically like we would like and desire. All right, so here are some scenarios. Guys know I like to talk through scenarios to really drive the point home of what we're saying, and make sure you're understanding why it is important for us to have great relationships with your medical team. So this first scenario is that there was an unexpected induction at 38 weeks. So the situation is you're being induced due to high blood pressure, which wasn't part of your original birth plan. It happens. So how can a doula help? Well, we join you at the hospital for early labor, and we explain to you the induction process and talk through your options, ways that they can help to bring labor on and to help labor progress. Also, we help you ask questions like, can we try a low dose of Pitocin instead of a higher dose or anything else? We reassure your partner, and we help you to feel involved. Because sometimes the partner's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, she's in pain. We can help you. Hey, rub her leg like this, sit beside her, encourage her. We also support you emotionally as your plans shift. So the pros to this is that you feel informed, that you're not overwhelmed. It reduces your fears around the medical decisions. It also keeps the lines of communication open with the nurses and your OB. Now, the cons are some providers may be unfamiliar with doulas and feel watched, like we're watching them, and that is not the intent, not one bit. We are there for the patient and to support them. And encourage them when things are medically necessary, but it's outside of what they desire for their birth plan. We're there to help encourage them and help explain to them what you're really saying. So we're on your side. We're on your side. Requires gentle advocacy to avoid overstepping. So we're very gentle, but if there's something that you're like, my client is very adamant about this, let's kind of talk it through. That is our role. Scenario 2. Hospital nurse shift change during transition. So you're in active labor. A new nurse comes in on duty and isn't as warm or communicative as the previous one. So how do we help as doulas? Well, we first say, hey, hi, my name is Alicia. I'm her doula. And she's been laboring since 1 a.m. and prefers a quiet support. And that helps. And the nurse knows right there what is going on, and also about the client, what they prefer. Advocates, we calmly let the new nurse know, hey, she responds best to just gentle coaching, not being too abrupt and rough with her, right? This is just her preferred way of communication. And would you mind if we dim the lights again? Because maybe they came in, turn the lights on, they're just normal. This is what they're accustomed to. But then I'll be there to say, hey, this is what's going on, to kind of calm the waters. I act as a bridge, which helps preserve continuity of care, right? So the pros and the cons, here we go. So prevents disruption in care or energy. That is the pro, that's the plus. Nurses appreciate concise updates because they got other clients to get to. Also, it protects birthing space emotionally. Now, the cons that we can kind of talk through. Some staff may be resistant to outsiders. Well, who are you? Well, what's going on? I am here to help and support and make life easy for you and also my client. Doulas has to gauge tone carefully to avoid conflict. So if you're here, I'm definitely going to go down here, and then we're going to kind of to an easy keel together, so that we avoid conflict. Scenario 3 is a C-section birth decision after a long labor. So after 20 plus hours of labor, your provider recommends a C-section for failure to progress. So how a doula can help is we can talk through what failure to progress means with our clients. We can ensure that questions are asked before you consent, and we prepare you emotionally and physically for the OR. So sorry, the kids are home. Well, they're here with me at the center. Summer has started. All right, this is real life, y'all. We ensure questions are answered before you consent. We prepare you emotionally and physically for the OR. We may accompany you depending on the hospital policy or stay with your partner. We stay for postpartum to help you with skin to skin, for latching, breastfeeding, and also emotional recovery. The pros would be easing the emotional impact of a big shift. We keep birth persons centered, even in surgery. We clarify what's happening step by step. Now, here are some cons that may come up. Not all hospitals allow doulas in OR, which is fine. We can still support, we can still help you. Doulas must maintain neutral. We have to be neutral and avoid giving medical options. It is completely up to you, but we will educate you and help you understand what is going on, and that your desires are your desires. You know, you can consent or not. But these are the reasons why they're saying what they're saying to you. And also saying, hey, let's give a moment, let them talk. You know, it's not a rush decision unless it is a critical and an emergency, and then still communicating that to my client to help them understand this is an urgent situation. Here's what they're saying going on with baby. Here's what they're saying going on with you. Now, what is your decision? All right, so here are some possible questions that you may have. What are some respectful ways my doula can interact with my OB or midwife? And what we could do is, you know, as the midwife says what they say, or the nurse, you may say, hey, may I ask a question respectfully? You know, your tone means a whole lot. As growing up, you know, you always hear it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Another question would be, can doulas attend prenatal visits? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Alongside your support person, they would allow the doula and your support person in the room. What if my provider doesn't like doulas? Well, that is your provider's prerogative. However, your right is to have a doula alongside you, and we will ensure that we help them understand that we are a value add and we understand their preference. However, we are still there for you as our clients. Can a doula support me with a scheduled C-section? Yes, we absolutely can. We can be there with you as long as the hospital allows us in the room with you during the C-section. Otherwise, we'll be there before the C-section, helping you, supporting you. And when you come back into the room, we'll help you during your recovery and postpartum. Should my doula meet my provider ahead of time? Absolutely. We need to see eye to eye, have an understanding of one another. And also, as a doula, especially one that's experienced, you want them to know, listen, there's no beef. There's no hardship. I am not going to cause any issues. I am just here to support as a value add to this birthing journey. What are some red flags that my doula and provider aren't aligned? Oh, you'll see it. You'll understand it. They'll start to butt heads, right? And that's not good. So that's why you really want them to be there during the doctor's appointments so that you can see, do they click? And it could be just their personalities, right? It could be nervousness. Maybe you have a new doula or you have an older doctor or vice versa. And they just have to figure it out. Be professional, figure it out, because at the end of the day, they're there for you. So in conclusion, I want you to take away from this webinar that doulas provide invaluable support by focusing on the emotional, physical, and informational needs of families during childbirth and beyond. And their work improves outcomes and fosters positive birthing experiences. And the call to action for you will be to encourage expecting parents to consider hiring a doula for personalized and compassionate care, and inspire aspiring professionals to explore this fulfilling career path. And we do have some great things coming down the pike here at I See My Baby to support those doulas that say, hey, or those that are interested in being a doula. So more to come on that. If you are interested, please reach out to us. We are here at 310 South Scott Street in Bainbridge, Georgia, here to support you. I'm also giving some brief tips for moms and dads. Remember, mom, to clearly communicate your birth preferences and your goals with your doula. This is your time. This is your experience. And ask questions to make use of your doula's knowledge to feel informed and confident. Ask as many questions as possible. Of course, leading up to your birth, we're on call. So listen, reach out to us, utilize the services. Practice relaxation techniques suggested by your doula. For our clients, we do the in-person, we do webinars, and we also put everything on our YouTube so you can go back to it, refresh yourself. You can't sleep, your anxiety is high, you can watch it, you can call me, text me. We're here to support you. And trust your instincts and lean on your doula for emotional reassurance. And plan for postpartum recovery, including your meal prep, your rest, and your doula's assistance. And we've covered this in previous webinars. So if you would like, you can go ahead to our YouTube channel and check those out. It goes into great detail on how to get your postpartum recovery plan down pat. And then the tips for your fathers out there, all the fathers out there. Don't forget, we do have men's support services here at the Women's Wellness Center, and we have Mr. Reeves and Mr. Hurt. They're here to support you, mentor you, help you to show up as a father, help you understand what to expect and what to overcome, things that will definitely come up, and help you stay mentally grounded and sound. You want to engage with the doula dad to learn how you can actively support the birthing mom. You want to be open to learning comfort techniques to assist during labor. You want to communicate your needs, your own needs and concerns with the doula to feel prepared and confident. And use the doula as a guide to better understand the birthing process and your role, and provide emotional and logistic support post-birth, ensuring that the mother has time to recover and bond with the baby. Bond with the baby. Do that skin to skin as well. So here is the QR code for the giveaway today. So just click it on your phone like you want to take a picture, and then just hover it over. You'll see the link pop up, or you can grab the link information here. Again, it's to help you understand how to keep your doula in the loop, how to ask the right questions, and how to navigate this process. I'm going to let it stay for a couple more seconds just to make sure you have it. If you are watching the replay, please type in #replay. Let us know. And here's our information. If you're like, you know what, Alicia, I really want to learn more about obtaining a doula. Does my insurance cover it? What does that look like? Maybe I'm already 25 weeks. That's fine. Let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe you know someone, or you're saying, Alicia, but I'm out the country, but I really want you to help me. We provide virtual doula services as well. So here's our information on the screen. Thank you for your listening ear. We also have highlighted all of the programs that we offer, including our food program, yoni steaming, that's 6 weeks postpartum. You can start your yoni steaming process if you are looking to be pregnant, get your hormones together. Maybe you have fibroids and cysts. Maybe you have some type of ailment that you want to work through holistically. The yoni steaming can help with that. We have a plethora of online resources. We have healing retreats locally and in Jamaica. In November, we are going to Negril, Jamaica, for our retreat to help with your healing, your growth, and to support you and rally around each other, get the tools that we need in order to navigate our journey to wholeness. We have wellness programs and classes. Every Monday, we have yoga from 6 to 7. And then every first Saturday of the month, we have West African dance. very therapeutic. We also have massage therapy and body work. We also have a safe space here with counseling and therapy. And starting in June, we will have weekly classes for women in recovery. That is completely new. I'm so excited about it. Miss Patricia is going to be here. She is a certified advocate, a certified recovery specialist. Stay tuned for more information on that. You guys have a wonderful day. And remember, I love you and you are not alone.